Even if you have the free version of LinkedIn, you can run some ninja searches on it so you can find fresh new leads and grow your business. The key is using Boolean operators, which are totally nerdy and I love them and I'm going to show them to you, along with some filters and a dash of creativity. And when you add it all up, you get awesome results. Okay, let's set the stage. Let's say that your ideal customer is someone who's in a sales leadership position in their company. The way most people would try to search for this type of person is to type in, say, director of sales in the search bar up here. And then if you click on see all people results, you get 10 million plus results. Now, the problem here, besides the fact that you now have to sift through 10 million people, is that your search results came up with anyone who has the word director and the word sales anywhere in their profile, not necessarily together. And by the way, prepositions like of and other small words are ignored in the LinkedIn search engine. So another type of person who could show up in your search results is, say, someone who's director of operations in their current job position, because the word director is in director of operations, and maybe they showed up in your search because they were in sales 10 years ago and the word sales appears in some other job description in some past job experience. Long story short, this is one big hot mess, and if we haven't met already, my mission is to make social media fun and easy for small businesses and get rid of hot messes like we see here. So what I'm going to ask you to do instead is to go to the search bar and click in the field while it's still blank and hit enter. And now click on people, because we want human being results and not the results of companies and groups and jobs and posts and all that stuff. Then click on all filters. Even before we get to the Boolean part of this, which is amazing, we have filters we can work with. And if you're anything like me, you probably want to try to sell to the people who are most likely to buy, because life is short and we want to be efficient. So I'm going to narrow the search down to first and second degree connections. And by second degree, I mean the connections of my connections. And for me, I'm going to choose the greater Philadelphia area because that's where I'm based and people are more likely to buy local. You can see you can also narrow down your search by current company and past company if you want. And for school, I'm going to select Penn State University because that's my alma mater and people tend to be friendlier with those who went to the same school. Now, if we go to keywords and type in director of sales, we're coming out better than we did before, because now we only have 94 results instead of 10 million. I think that's a market improvement. And you're already going to get better results because the word director and the word sales have to both appear in the person's current job title. But there's still a big problem here. The problem is that these directors of sales and sales directors who are showing up in your search results, they are also showing up in your competitor search results and in anyone else's search results. These particular leads who are showing up are the ones who are most solicited because they diligently spelled out their full title, thus creating a perfect keyword environment for any one of us who's running a keyword search. And it's harder to break through to people and build relationships with people who are already getting bombarded with solicitations from everyone else. But with some creativity and some Boolean logic to streamline the process, we can dig up people who don't have perfect keywords in their profile and specifically in their title, but would be a perfect customer for you. And it'll be easier for you to sell to them because they're being solicited a lot less on LinkedIn because they don't have those perfect keywords. So we're going to think of potential leads who have abbreviated job titles as well as misspelled job titles. And it's okay if they misspell their job titles. Proofreading just might not be their forte. I once misspelled the word communication of all words in my LinkedIn profile and didn't catch it for 3 years. So we're going to spice up our search here, and we're still looking for people who have the word sales in their job title and at least one of the following. DIR, which is the abbreviation for director. This will cover both people who are a director as well as those people who just put DIR. Or they spell director as dryactor or director. And by the way, I didn't make this up. If you want to find the most common misspellings for certain words, go to spellchecker.net, then do /, and then whatever word it is you're looking up for the common misspellings. And here are the most common misspellings for director. Okay, and let's also add VP for vice president and MGR as the abbreviation for manager. And here comes the Boolean. Okay, so it looked like this: sales and, open parenthesis, DIR or dryactor or director or VP or MGR, close parenthesis. Now, this particular example uses 3 out of the 5 Boolean operators that I'm going to show you today. Now, the first Boolean operator is the word and. You'll notice it's capitalized, and all Boolean operators on LinkedIn must be capitalized for LinkedIn to recognize it as a Boolean operator. Now, and means here that the person's job title has to have the word sales and at least one of these other words in it. Now, technically, the word and is not needed in a LinkedIn search. LinkedIn assumes if you have 2 terms together that you mean and, unless you say otherwise. So you would get the same results if you typed this without the and right there. I just personally like adding the word and because it just makes more sense for my brain. And since I'm the one doing this video and I have creative license, I'm gonna put and back in, and I'm gonna stand firm on that. Now the next Boolean operator is the word or, again, in all caps. That means you'll accept any of these terms from dir to mgr. And the next Boolean operator is parentheses when you need to group some terms together like we did here. Now in this example, using some creativity and some of the Boolean operators, we went from 94 results to 145, which is still a totally manageable number. And the bonus here is that we got 51 leads that we wouldn't have dug up otherwise. Now I want to show you two more Boolean operators. The first is the word not. Let's say now you want to reach anyone who's in any type of sales position, but they're not a sales assistant or a sales coordinator. Then your search will look like this: sales not, open parenthesis, assistant or ASST, or coordinator, close parenthesis. And you'll see I included ASST for the abbreviation of assistant so we can include more people in this weeding out process. The other Boolean operator is quotation marks, and that's when you want to have an exact phrase with the words in consecutive order. Let's say you want to include account executives in your search. In that case, you'd have to put account and executive together in quotes because it's a single phrase. And our search would look like this: sales or account executive quotes, not assistant or ASST or coordinator. Here's some other important things you need to know. First, LinkedIn doesn't support wildcards like the asterisk sign. Also, LinkedIn says it does not officially support the plus sign or minus sign in searches in case you've used the plus sign or minus sign in other search engines. And if you try using the plus sign or minus sign in LinkedIn, LinkedIn does not guarantee optimal results. Also, if you have a free account, LinkedIn might get confused if you make your Boolean string too long. So if you get an error message like this, then just make your Boolean search more concise or break it up into a couple different searches so you get the results you want. Now that you know how to find new leads on LinkedIn, your next step is to learn what to say and what not to say to these leads when you connect with them. So watch this video in the top right corner so you can learn how to build positive relationships on LinkedIn and build your business. Thanks, and see you in the next video.